SME on point, and we'd really love to hear what you think of them. So as the pandemic intensifies once again, several small businesses, particularly in the chemical and manufacturing sector, have been hard hit. It is for this reason that the Chemical Industries Education and Training Authority, CHIETA, has taken deliberate action to disperse discretionary grants in support of Integrated Small Business Development Program. To understand better what this organization does, we speak to the CEO, Yershen Pillay, via Zoom. Yershen, thank you so much. Welcome to SME on Point. Before we even go far, please help me with the acronym pronunciation.
It's the Chemicals Industries Education and Training Authority, often referred to as CHIETA or CHIETA, but what I like to refer to as the Chemical CHIETA.
It's the Chemical CHIETA. Thank you so much. Tell me more about how these businesses, particularly the small businesses in this industry, have been hard hit. I can imagine, the kind of turmoil that they've been in with, when you look at all the industries, particularly around the world, how has this particularly been affected?
Well, the recent data has indicated to us that 90% of small and medium enterprises are struggling to survive, and SMME bankruptcies have increased by more than 50% in the last 6 months as a result of the impact of COVID-19. And so the data is extremely concerning, given the role that small and medium enterprises play in job creation and economic transformation, especially in the chemical sector, which is largely dominated by larger corporations, despite the fact that since 2013, the contribution of small businesses to formal sector economic growth has increased from 16% to 22%, whilst your contribution of larger enterprises have decreased from 75 to 68%. So we are seeing SMMEs being a very key contributor and key driver to economic growth and development in the sector.
Yeah, let's talk about key or barrier to entry of the chemical sector as a whole. Is it necessarily easy to get into the sector, or do we still find a lot of red tape when you find new entrants coming into the sector?
Well, the sector is largely dominated by oil and gas companies, but we also have a large number of glass manufacturing companies within the chemical sector, explosives and fertilizers, as well as pharmaceuticals. And if you look at pharmaceuticals and fast-moving consumer goods as one of our subsectors, there are, although significant barriers, significant opportunities for growth, given what we've seen. And one example of this is a small enterprise that we have supported through our partnership with the University of Johannesburg Center of Entrepreneurship, where we had a large number of chemicals cooperatives and SMMEs coming together to supply or meet the demand for sanitizers, hand sanitizers, as well as other inputs into the production of hand sanitizers into the industry. So in as much as there are barriers, and those barriers could range from the various market externalities or various high input costs, for example, or the competition in the sectors. But there are significant opportunities, and we're seeing small and medium enterprises taking those opportunities, such as in the production of hand sanitizers.
Yeah. What is very encouraging is your initiative of the 1.64 million that you're giving out for research, innovation, as well as work integrated learning initiatives. Please do tell us more.
So we are increasing not only our support, financial support for small and medium enterprises and cooperatives, but we're also increasing our research and development into clearly identifying what are the needs and priorities of small and medium enterprises. What are the bottlenecks that your small and medium enterprises face, and how best can we address those? And so this discretionary grants that we are offering for our research institutions is specifically to identify what exactly is the problem. How do we address that problem? And then moving on to providing solutions that address the root causes of the problems that we face. And so what we are looking at is more research into identifying what are these specific needs. For example, many SMMEs have indicated that getting their products into market, onto shelf, can be very difficult for an SMME, which has to pay for high costs for perhaps getting an SABC stamp of approval. And so we are working together with other partners to reduce, for example, the time and the costs for standards to be met as part of our increased investment into SMME support.
Yeah, I can tell you, Yershen, that there will be a lot of interest for this, but how do entrepreneurs get in touch with you and how do they apply? What's the criteria also?
So our main flagship program is in partnership with the Johannesburg Business School Center of Entrepreneurship. We partner with this institution in rolling out an integrated small business development program. And in the previous financial year, we have seen 80 of these entrepreneurs who were selected through a very stringent process applied by the Johannesburg Business School itself. What we did was to provide the funding for that program in partnership with the South African Chemical Incubator, Chemin. And this partnership saw on the 10th of May, 80 of these SMMEs graduate. Now, because of the success of it, and the data suggests that 64% of these SMMEs increased their top line revenues by almost 25%. We will be opening up a further program for the next financial years to at least take on a minimum of 100 new small and medium enterprises through this partnership. And the SMMEs can and will be able to apply directly through the University of Johannesburg's Center of Entrepreneurship.
Yershen Pillay, thank you so much for joining us on SME on Point. We really appreciate your input, and I hope that a lot of our viewers will take advantage of the support that you are offering as the Chemical Industries Education and Training Authority, also known as CHIETA. That's Mr. Yershen Pillay. He's the CEO, telling us that they are giving out support in support for chemical research, innovation, as well as work integrated learning initiatives. So if you do qualify, if that's your area, please do get in touch with them. But that is all from us from SME on Point. Remember to support small businesses in your communities and to keep the rands and cents circulating in your area. After the break, Nastasia Arense has Books on Point.